It is possible to be holding on to what God wants you to live. It is possible you're in a season that God has left. It is possible you're still chasing what God wants you to stop chasing. It is possible that you're still holding on to what God wants you to let go. But one thing you must know and take note of is this. If God wants you to let it go, it's to your best interest and advantage. If God wants you to live that season, it's for your best advantage because He knows better. He knows the end from the beginning. So His interest is your well-being, your welfare. When God told Elijah to go to the widow, it was the same God that told Elijah to go to the water brook. If Elijah stayed in the water brook when the water stopped and when the raven stopped bringing food, he would have died there and he would have still been blaming God. But in as much as God told him earlier, God also told him something different later. So you must be very discerning to make sure you're not holding on to what God wants to let go. You must be very discerning to make sure that you're not still where God wants you to live. It's important. There are times God wants you to stay. It's also important to know that there are many times God also wants you to leave. If God wants you to stay, your supply and everything is in that position. But if God wants you to leave, staying longer than you should will be a waste of your time if you even survive it at all. So in many cases, people are still holding on to what God wanted to leave. People are still in a stage that God has long left and God is waiting for them in the nest. So God told Elijah, go to the widow of Zarephath. Elijah did not stay a day extra. A lot of people are still where God has told them to live a long time ago. And they are wondering why things are not changing. God is His word, and His word will not turn to Him void. Forever, O God, your word is settled. So if God has said it, that's where the result is. If God is waiting for you in the north, you will starve in the south. If God is waiting for you in the west, it won't work well in the east. Because God is His word, and His word is in His presence. And the presence of God, that's where you see the fullness of joy and everything in supply. So I want you to pay attention and ask this question, because God always wants to give you answers, and God wants to answer. He said, call upon me, I will answer you. And find out, are you still holding on to what God wants you to live? Could it be a relationship? Could it be a career? Could it be a path, a direction you've been going, and God wants you to make a change? You still say, I must do it this way. Pay attention. If it's not there, it won't work. Go where God is, and everything will begin to align. God bless.